For step 1, we're going to go to spring.io, download a project, run it in Eclipse, make sure stuff shows up on the screen, and then create a jar file so that we can move that over into Amazon EC2. So let's get started. I'm going to click on this link here. We're going to go to start.spring.io, a Maven project, so we'll keep that as is. We're going to use Java. We're going to use springBoot 2.4, either version is fine. We'll just stick with the default. We're going to rename our project metadata, keep the packaging as jar, and we're going to stick with, we're going to use Java 8. So I'm going to rename this to com.knapplication.springboot. And this is going to be my package name. So I'm actually going to change the artifact and the name here. Let's call it tutorial. If only I can spell. Wow. Tutorial. So the name is going to change. The description is fine. Package name, we're going to have knapplication.springboot.tutorial. That's good. Now for our dependencies, I do want to add some dependencies. Since I'm going for a basic web application, I'm just going to add in Spring Web, but these are all the other dependencies that we have available to us. So we're going to stick with Spring Web. Very simple and easy. And then we're going to hit generate. It actually just downloaded to my download folder. Let me bring that up. I'm just going to drag it over to my desktop and extract it. All right, there we go. So this is the folder that we're going to work with going forward. So first of all, let us go back to our instructions here. So we went to start.spring.io. We selected the Java version 8 with Maven. We downloaded the project. Now we need to grab Eclipse and import our downloaded Spring Boot project into Eclipse as a Maven project. So we've already done the first 2 steps. Now we're on the 3rd step. So I'll hop over to eclipse.org. This is what Eclipse looks like. Click on download, and you're going to pick the version that makes sense for you. You can click on download packages and you'll have the options here for Mac. You'd want the Eclipse IDE for Java developers. Okay, so this is my download. I'm just going to run it. All right, here's the installer. Let's just run this. Open. We're installing this one and just hit launch. So we have our workspace here. Just gonna hit launch. Sure. While that's opening up, let's go back to our instructions real quick, and it says that okay, so we've already done step 3, just downloaded and installed Eclipse. Now we need to import the Spring Boot projects into Eclipse as a Maven project. So we're going to work on that next. And I'm going to click on import projects, or you could also go to file, import, and pick your project. Either one works. It works the same way. So we're going to pick Maven and do existing Maven projects. Hit next. I'm going to browse to my desktop. I'm gonna grab the tutorial here. It's open, finish. So let's hop in here, and then we have our tutorial application. The instructions say that we need to go to spring.io/guides/gs/springboot. So we'll go there. This is going to talk about how you can build an application with Spring Boot. But we are going to drop on down because we've already gone through the Spring Initializer step. Now we're going to look at the simple web application step and create an application class step. So these are the 2 things that we're going to do right now. So what we're going to do is create a Hellocontroller.java file. So I'm going to right click on the package com.knapplication.springboot.tutorial. And I'm going to create a new class or a new Java file, but it's a class. So we're going to create a new class and we're going to call it Hellocontroller. What the Hellocontroller is going to do is make sure that whenever you click on a certain path, like when you go to, let's use Google for example, google.com compared to google.com/search compared to google.com/shop. It's going to make sure that you are redirected to different places depending on what you put after the slash. So that's what the Hellocontroller does. So we're going to pull in the imports here. Well, we're going to pull in everything except the package because we already have our package here. All right, so we're just going to highlight this, lines 3 through 5, remove it, and then paste exactly what we copied. And this should work perfectly fine. Okay, so now that takes care of the Hellocontroller. Let's go down to the application class. So this is just going to make sure that our application runs, right? So having the Hellocontroller is not enough. The application, that Java class, is what's actually going to run the application. So we need to have something here. So as you can see, there's Spring application.run, and then we have the class here. That's exactly what this is going to do as well. So we just need to make sure we import all of our packages. I'm just going to copy that and paste it underneath. This is duplicate, so remove that line. And then here we are going to copy everything inside of the application class. Well, actually, we're going to copy everything from here. Reason being, these lines that are highlighted here, they're already there. So lines 13 through 18 is the same thing that we see here. It's just that instead of application as a class name, we have tutorial application, which is perfectly fine. So we're going to go to the bean and copy all the way to the second to last curly braces and put it on line 20. So what this is going to do is just print stuff out to the screen so that we can see that the application is indeed running. All right, so it's printing out all of the bean names that the application is going to run. The beans are just frameworks that's provided by springBoot that's needed to run in the background in order for the application to run. So now we're going to save this. Oh, this is also a duplicate. Let's remove that. And we're going to hit that run button. So now it is indexing the files. We have the console here. It's printing out some of the beans. So if I expand this and head over to localhost, then it says greetings from springBoot. So if I make some sort of modification to this class, the Hellocontroller class, let's say I copy lines 9 through 12 and paste it. And let's say my request mapping is store, right? And then I have string store, and I could say, welcome to my store, and save it. I'm going to stop this and run it again. So that stop button is right here. So anytime you want to kind of refresh what you're seeing in the browser, you have to stop it and rerun it. So I'm going to refresh this. All right, so that works fine. Okay, greetings from springBoot. And if I go to /store, I'll see welcome to my store. Right, so that's /store. So that's me adding another mapping or adding another path. So I can have /login, thank you, whatever path that you want to have. So that's one of the benefits of using springBoot, because all you need to do is add another mapping on what you want on that page, and it's going to automatically program everything for you, right? So this is pretty much all we have to do in terms of making sure the application is up and running and having, all of the things that we need. As you can see, now we have a website that we're running locally. So now instead of running it on our machines, the only problem with this is that if I should shut down my machine, I can't navigate here and run anything. I also can't give this link to anybody. Like if I wanted my friends and family to take a look at my website, I can't give them this link. So I have to put this somewhere where I have a publicly accessible link that they can go to and view my site. So that's why we're going to put this in Amazon EC2. Because EC2 will provide a public domain, which is like a public URL that I can use and give to people to access my website. So that's going to be our next step. So we did edit the Hellocontroller and the application.java, but ours was tutorial application.java file. We ran the app and we checked localhost port 80 to see if anything shows up. We use port 8080, but we also could use port 80. That's fine. So now we are going to create our snapshot.jar. So what that entails is going to the terminal, going to the project folder, running that command, and then making sure in the project folder we see that snapshot.jar. So let's open up our terminal. All right, so I'm in the terminal, right? We're going to run that mvn package command. So I need to cd to my desktop. Oh, I am in my desktop. So I need to cd to the tutorials directory. Let's just do ls, see what's in there. This looks great. So now I'm going to run that mvn package command. So you see that it's building that snapshot file. All right, now it created that jar file. So we basically package our application into a jar file. So if I go here in the target directory, now I see that tutorial 0.0.1-snapshot.jar. That's exactly what I want to see. That's perfect. So that basically means everything that we created in our application, the classes that we created, the modifications that we made, they're all packaged up nicely into this jar file, which we're going to use in a few moments. Navigated to the project folder in the terminal. We ran that mvn package command. We checked the project folder, the target directory to be specific, and the snapshot jar file is there.